thing.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, for real. A mountain lion, a cougar, and a puma are all the same animal.
Wait, I thought pumas and panthers were the same animal.
Well, scientifically, panthers are jaguars or leopards.
Huh. Okay, so you've obviously been binging Wildcrats again.
Okay, then. Hi, it's happy hour somewhere, so we're welcome to Drinking Dusties.
This is where we pull the cork on old bottles of whiskey to taste what's been waiting inside for decades.
And also uncork the amazing stories that go into those bottles.
I'm Charles Cox. I've written about whiskey at Maxim and Men's Journal and magazines, and I edit the annual World's Best Whiskeys Guide.
I'm Steve Russell. I like bourbon and old stuff and a nice crisp early morning at the farmer's market.
He really does. I can see that we've hauled out the extra large box of mystery again.
Your powers of observation are stunning. It's like you're the mentalist. Do you want to deduce what's under the extra large box of mystery?
Sure, but first let's recap what a dusty bourbon is.
Yeah.
In a general sense, dusties are bottles that you can't easily find on liquor store shelves anymore. Why?
Because they were produced and distributed way back in the time before time.
Before time, or at least a couple of decades ago at least. Brands and distilleries change hands, and they especially did so during Prohibition in the 1920s and the whiskey glut era of the 70s to the mid-90s. And that means the juice was made in different ways by different people back then. Or sometimes the brands no longer exist, claimed by changing tastes and the sands of time.
And sometimes we're just talking about cool old bottles with actual dust on them. The kind that used to sit unloved on back shelves of small liquor stores before dusty hunters turned into Mad Max-style ravagers of the wastelands.
2 days ago, I saw a vehicle that could haul that tanker of whiskey. You want to get out of here? You talk to me. And that's why we're here, to share our dusty discoveries with you guys. We break the seals and taste rare bottles right here, so we can all find out together if they're worth the hype.
Or if we're talking about more of a Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome situation.
Seriously, some of the wacko bourbon hunters that we've encountered should be forced into a cage match to find it out.
Yeah. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, and has a nice pour.
Well, poor Master Blaster. But I do love a happy ending. So let's get to the whiskey, right after we remind people why they should trust our opinions.
Should they, though? Opinions are like browser histories, better left unshared.
Yeah, I know my browser history would get me committed to a mental ward in most states. But here's the thing. We've both been obsessed with bourbon for years, literally, and have tasted hundreds of them. And, well, we have that camera pointed at us, so we're going to hold forth.
Yeah, we're whiskey guys, and whiskey guys do hold forth.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we think our opinions or browser histories are any more valid than yours.
Speaking of which, feel free to share your comments, questions, and bank account passwords in the comment section. Just try not being weird. Okay, ready?
For what?
For why we're here, to reveal what's hiding inside this rather large box of mystery.
You got it.
Is it invisible?
Oh, right.
You
All
forgot the
my,
whiskey?
My bad. My bad. I slipped it right into the little pocket there.
Woo!
Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay, but why did you have a big-ass box?
To throw you off the trail.
Well, you certainly did that.
Yeah.
All right, you're a real master of subterfuge. Okay, so this is just precious.
Adorable. Little and old, like a granny.
Care to share?
Sure. This is a mini of Lincoln Inn, which I'm pretty sure was bottled in the late 1930s. It's got an Illinois tax sticker on it, but the corner of the sticker where the date normally appears has been rubbed off.
Over there. Okay, so why do you think 1930s then?
Well, the bottle and cap style are very similar to some other dusty minis in the same lot I won in an online auction. And those bottles all have Illinois tax stamps from 1937.
37, okay.
I've only spotted one other bottle like this, which is exactly like this on the internet. The description said 1940s, but there was nothing to indicate why. So I'm sticking with the 1930s.
Makes sense. All right. Hot damn, that means that's 80-something years old.
Seems like probably, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just assume Little Lincoln here is from 1937. That means it was bottled during the Great Depression. FDR was inaugurated for his second term. The Hindenburg blimp exploded over Lakehurst, New Jersey. Cars first drove across the brand new Golden Gate Bridge. And aviator Amelia Earhart disappeared while flying across the Pacific. In the world of moving pictures, the Marx Brothers comedy A Day at the Races was making everybody bust a gut.
Great movie.
Big bands like Tommy Dorsey's Orchestra and Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians absolutely owned the record charts.
Royal Canadians.
And the New York Yankees beat the New York Giants in 5 games in the World Series.
I really think you should have used one of those old-timey newsreel voices to deliver all of that.
But honestly, the provenance on this little jewel is just kind of a puzzle. Since it's a bit on the small side, let me just quickly read the labeling. On the front label, it says blended whiskey, spelled K-E-Y, not K-Y, blended and bottled by Carstairs Brothers, Louisville, Kentucky.
So you said it's whiskey with an EY, not just a Y. That means it's American, not Canadian, as they use the Y spelling like Scotch, Japanese, and most of the rest of the world up in Canada.
Right. Now the back label. The dream of every great whiskey producer has been to create a blend of full, rich whiskeys, retaining the utmost in taste and flavor without excessive heaviness. In Lincoln Inn, that aim has been achieved. A master blend of several superlative whiskeys, perfectly balanced to give you full flavor and bouquet with lighter body.
Lighter body.
The straight whiskeys in this product are 2 years and 6 months or more old. 75% straight whiskey, 25% other whiskey, 2 years and 6 months or more old. Distillers Product Sales Corporation, Executive and Sales Offices, 405 Lexington Avenue, New York City.
All right, so all that. The label says Louisville, Kentucky, but it doesn't say it's bourbon. What is it then?
Who the hell knows, Charles? It's a blend of some sort, a blend that apparently disqualifies it from being labeled as bourbon. What took a while to dawn on me is that even though it is blended, it's not one of those cheapo bottles that blended part bourbon with part neutral grain spirits. This is all whiskey of some sort.
Of some sort. All right, let's find out what sort.
Yeah.
Right.
So are you saying that it's time to
drink that dusty? Let's do this. All right, so we get a couple glasses.
Yep.
Well, you get that one. All right, so our teeny little brother of an uncertain whiskey past, we honor your sacrifice.
Here we go. Oh my gosh.
That creaked. That creaked. All right.
There. It's done.
All right, let's pour this.
Let's pour it. I'll go you first on this one.
Oh boy.
I might want you to drink it
All
before
right.
I do, actually.
All right. As usual, I'm using a Glencairn for mine.
And I'm using what I would call Glen Campbell.
Which probably is more appropriate in this situation.
Yeah.
All right. I get some old sock. No, it does smell a little bit like whiskey.
Yeah. Maybe why don't we let this breathe a little bit more?
Yeah, okay. Wow. Well, I mean, after 88 years, it's been here for a while. So
let me pass along a bit more background.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. I'll give you
Best I can suss out, the Lincoln Inn brand is Lincoln Inn Old Rye, dates from Prohibition, and was produced in Canada by Distillers Corporation Limited, the parent company of Seagram's. Indeed, it was likely distilled at LaSalle Distillery, which was the name for the Greenbrier Distillery after it was dismantled in Kentucky and rebuilt in Montreal. Why?
Because Canada didn't lose its mind and have Prohibition?
Yeah. Of course, a lot of whiskey that was made in Canada was smuggled back into the U.S. during Prohibition, which is why Seagram's used the EY spelling of whiskey on the labels. Now, check this out. Just a few months ago, a Coast Guard rescue swimmer in New Jersey was walking his dog on the beach near Atlantic City and found 11 pints of Lincoln Inn Old Rye buried in the sand.
So I actually talked to that guy. I tracked him down, got him on the phone. Super nice guy. He's a Coast Guard rescue diver. So he gets up, goes out in helicopters, jumps out of the helicopter into the ocean to save people, like rescue swimmers. And he just happened to be walking his dog on the beach. This was back in February. His dog started digging in the sand, came up with a bottle. And then found another bottle, and so he ended up finding 11 bottles that were all buried there in the sand. And he doesn't drink himself, ironically. So he was a little bit unsure about trying them because he was worried they've been at the bottom of the ocean for 90 years and either just washed up or were dredged up to replenish the sand. And he was also worried about lead in the cap because these metal caps back then. Yeah, I mean, that's metal inside, too. So they didn't have the same lead restrictions we have now.
It looks better on the inside than it does the outside.
That is true. So he was worried about the lead leaching out. So he hadn't tried it yet. He's a very generous guy, so he gave 10 of the 11 bottles to family and friends who wanted it. And he was waiting to try it. And I think all of his family and friends were all waiting to try it, too, for when he shipped off, because he was with the Coast Guard. So very interested to get to try it with him and see what it's like. But that's Lincoln Inn that was on the beach in New Jersey.
That's crazy.
And it's kind of ironic that he's with the Coast Guard, and these bottles were probably thrown overboard by smugglers back during Prohibition, trying to escape the Coast Guard. So kind of ironic that he found it.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Okay, sipping time.
Oh, jeez. All right, we first choose to sip ours neat to get the pure, unadulterated flavor that some distiller somewhere intended before we doctor it with ice and water. But you should drink your whiskey however you damn well want to.
Let's do it.
All right, bottoms up. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
It's not. Me too. That's what I'll say. It's
but
not as bad as it's like. So some more of the puzzle on this bottle's history. Right. There were minis of Lincoln Inn Old Rye made, but our Dusty here is not one of those. This is a much different label with a 4-color scene of a horse-drawn carriage parked in front of a large structure, presumably the Lincoln Inn itself. As I mentioned earlier, the label says Louisville, Kentucky on it, though it doesn't state explicitly that it was distilled in Kentucky, just that it's blended and bottled by Carstairs Brothers Distilling Company of Louisville. And then on the back, it has that New York City address.
So Louisville and New York. What exactly was Carstairs Brothers Distilling?
Well, the Carstairs family were Scottish immigrants who arrived in Philadelphia before the Revolutionary War, and right around the time of the Civil War got into the liquor trade. The company was big time, especially with rye brands, exporting to Europe and South America, and by the 1890s, I've had enough, thanks. Prohibition shut them down. Interestingly, both Carstairs brothers kicked the bucket just as Prohibition was being repealed in 1934.
Oh, that's sad.
The Carstairs name was revived with repeal, and that wouldn't have been too long before I think this bottle was produced. I've also read a post by someone claiming to be a Carstairs descendant, that the name was sold to, Seagram's.
Okay.
So that at least would explain how the Lincoln Inn brand became to be on a Carstairs bottle.
I just noticed there's this red sticker on here on the bottle that says sample not to be sold.
Right, which just adds to the mysterious mystery. I'm assuming that mini bottles were sent out to liquor distributors and store owners to see if they wanted to stock it. But as I mentioned, the only other photo I've seen of this brand was also a mini bottle exactly like this one. My theory is that perhaps this version of Lincoln Inn, the post-Prohibition version, never made it onto regular bottles and liquor store shelves.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I hope this wasn't the last few drops of Lincoln Inn left on the planet. But any Dusty Boosters out there, if you have anything to add about this bottle, if you know, hit the comments section, give us some info, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, and be sure to support us on Patreon. And don't forget to click the button to subscribe to our channel to help us out. That don't cost nothing.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook for more Dusty content.
Until next week, keep it dusty. Cheers.
Skull.
All right, now let's give another taste on this.
I gave you some extra.
Yeah, thanks. But let's talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
like I said, not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, but smell it again. There's something weird and like chemical about the smell.
I think it smells better than it tastes. Like I actually thought the smell. I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty good.
Smell like you sound.
Yeah, right. I thought it was going to like be. Oh, it's like, oh, this is going to be good.
See, I get there's a weird chemical. It's like a cleaner.
Yeah.
It's like I would use this to clean my kitchen counter if I ever did such a thing.
It's not horrible. And I think that probably owes to the fact that it's not one of those ones that has neutral grain spirits in it. It is all of, it's a Kentucky-made whiskeys of some sort.
Ironically, though, even without you mentioning Canada at all and talking about this, because it's Kentucky-made, it's not Canadian. But my reaction to the flavor would have been this has that sort of classic, bland but inoffensive Canadian blend taste to it. It tastes like a Seagram's.
I kind of had that same idea ahead of time too. As soon as I see like blended, I start like thinking about that. But I could drink this. I'm gonna throw a little ice in here.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it's not that it's harsh, but maybe that'll open up some new flavors.
No, it's not harsh.
Because sometimes ice does that. It can open up new flavors. It can also mask some stuff. But
wait a minute, that reminds me. I don't think it even says what. No, it's 90 proof. 90 proof. I said that right. 90 proof. 90 proof.
Okay.
So,
well, this was a fun adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Dusties and there's Dusties.
Well, this one's pretty damn old. 1937.
For real.
10 years older than my dad.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Before World War II.
I mean, I could sit around and drink this. Okay, here's what.
I wouldn't want to.
No. It's got a. To me, the bad part is the part that puts me off. It's actually got an aftertaste that I don't like. It kind of goes in the back of my tongue. There's a little bit of an aftertaste.
And what is that after? There's like a marzipan? It's got a little bit of like almond paste. I know you said you don't know what marzipan is.
Right. It might be marzipan out the door for all I know. It could be melted marzipan.
It does have a little bit of that almond paste flavor to it, but it's
I just wonder.
There's no burn. There's no burn at all. It's so smooth.
I just wonder what the 25% other whiskeys that aren't straight whiskeys, what that means.
Like flamboyant whiskeys.
Yeah, flamboyant whiskeys. Right.
And we appreciate the character that they add.
Yeah, the whiskeys in the theater.
Yes, exactly.